I'm going to be doing something a little bit different over the next couple of days. I'm going to do a bit of a work vlog as I go to Banff for my last certified pool operator class of the year. So if you've been here for a while, I don't do a lot of vlogging, but it is something that has been requested, kind of what do I do when I'm traveling for work. Banff is obviously one of my favorite places to go for client work. I am extremely grateful that it is the last kind of 10 days before Christmas, and I'm going to be headed out to Banff today to teach a certified pool operator class for a hospitality client that I've worked with for a number of years. So I thought I would bring you along because I've also had a lot of questions about what are my favorite places to go to in Banff. What do I do when I go to Banff as somebody who lives in Alberta near Calgary? And Banff, I'm very lucky to say, is somewhere that I go several times per year, not just, once in a lifetime. Little update, not sure if you can hear the wind. We have made it to Stoney Nakoda Nation. I pulled off to get some gas. Normally I would go to Banff with a full tank of gas, but this week has been crazy. The last 10 days I've gone through 5 or 6 tanks of gas. So I was at a quarter. Never go to Banff or Canmore with just a quarter of a tank, both because the gas stations are more expensive, but also you sometimes have to wait. There's just not that many gas stations and you don't want to be caught anywhere without gas. So I like Stoney Nakoda because it is Indigenous land and it's usually a little bit cheaper. There's a Tim Hortons here if it matters to you. We're going to get back on the highway. Predictably, the weather out in the mountains is much colder, much windier than what we had in Calgary and Okotoks, even though I checked the forecast. So we are going to head to Johnston Canyon, but we will see what that looks like because it's drizzling, but it's also warm. We have a Chinook in, so it's melting, which means it could be icy. So we will see. Hello. We are back. It is about an hour after I got gas at Stoney Nakoda near the turnoff to the Pomeroy Kananaskis. And I've just made it to Johnston Canyon on the Bow Valley Parkway, and the gate is down. So I can't go to Johnston Canyon. I'm not sure if it's too slippery because it's pouring rain or what. But you can see behind me that the gate is down and the Parks Canada Ranger is there. So I'm not going to drive up the highway and check on the north gate because it is a parkway. So you can go from the south, you can go from the north. I'm just going to assume that weather conditions or animal conditions are such that it's closed. So we are going to head into the Banff Town Center now. I did not pull off at the Norquay lookout because it is so rainy, so foggy, so cloudy. We would not be able to see anything. You couldn't see the top of Three Sisters. You can't see the top of any of the mountain peaks. So going to Norquay doesn't make sense. Going to Tunnel Mountain doesn't make sense. And then also the Banff Upper Hot Springs is closed for renovation. It was supposed to be a few months, but it's an older pool, so it's now protracted into 2026. So it is only roughly 1 o'clock. I think it's too early to try and check into the hotel. So we are going to go do a client drop off. So I'm going to drop off some Christmas gifts. I can do that now, and then we will try to check into the hotel once it's a more believable time. We made it to my first client visit. I'm going to get some chocolates and a Christmas card ready. It is Sunday in Banff. I forgot that part. So as soon as I hit town, you're waiting 5 or 6 cars deep at a red light, at a stop sign. There's lineups at all of the popular cafes and restaurants. That's just how it is in a tourist place. I'm really lucky that usually we come to Banff midweek in the off season. So tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be a lot better than today, Sunday, because Sunday you have a lot of Calgarians and local people who do a day trip. So we're going to do this client drop off, and then we're going to go to another client drop off, and then we're going to go check into the hotel because it's crowded out. So we're going to start with that. So I wanted to just quickly show you, this is the very, very large Merci chocolate, or Merci. It's made by Stork. If you've been here before, you know I love these chocolates. You can get them at most good grocery stores in the candy section. They're not necessarily seasonal. I get them at Walmart. I get them at Safeway. This particular size is very large. This is from Costco. This is about $20. What I love about the Merci is the different individually wrapped chocolate fingers. And so basically there is a flap that opens, and then there is rows of these fingers of wrapped chocolates. So this is a really great client gift because it holds up in an office setting where people are coming and going and they can get their own piece of chocolate. It is a little bit obnoxious, but I do stick a little Lakeview sticker inside. And then I got a Christmas card ready to go. Slide it in, and then I can just drop this off. It's a very, very high quality European chocolate. I really recommend this. And it obviously, if people know the French, merci, they understand the symbolism without it being overtly Christian or Christmas for people who don't celebrate. So this first drop off was a client who registers a lot of people in the certified pool operator class. I would guess 20 to 30 people in the last year. The next drop off we're going to go to is a regular client I've worked with for a few years. They didn't register too many people this year, but it's always cyclical. It is so slippery, but it is one of the things I love about being in the mountains at this time of the year is every lobby has fireplaces going. That wood smoke smell is just divine. I don't know how well you can see, the guys are loading up wood for the guest rooms. This property has fireplaces in most of the rooms. It is lovely. I have stayed here for work. Okay, so we made a quick stop at Hidden Ridge. People always ask me where they should stay when they come to Banff or Canmore. There are so many different factors. It depends on the time of the year that you're coming, the amenities that you want, your price point. Do you have a car? Do you have a trailer? Hidden Ridge, I've never actually stayed at as a guest. I've worked with the team here before, and it's just one of those properties that I personally love because it is hidden on a ridge and it has this spectacular pool setup. So the units are more of self-catering, condo style, loft. Some even have multiple bedrooms, kitchenette, private hot tubs on the deck. It's not for everyone because it's not in the Banff town center. It's not on Main Street. You do need to get a car and you need to drive everywhere. But I did want to stop in here because this is one of my favorite places for people who are looking for something a little bit more remote, like romantic staycation, where you're maybe not going to leave your room much except to eat. So I'm at the hotel. We're going to see if we can check in. Obviously, it's early. If they say no, that makes complete sense, and I'll go work at a cafe or do something else. But if I can check in early, there's a bunch of things I'd like to do before dinner at 7. We were able to check in a bit early, and I got parking, which for the truck, this hotel has a very small lot. is a little bit small for 2 people, so it's a good thing I'm here on my own, but perfectly satisfactory for myself for 3 nights. So we are going to go upstairs, take a look at the hot tub, see what's happening there, because I haven't visited this property since March. It's also a beautiful view. It's still daylight for another hour or 2, and then we will reassess what we're going to do. It's 5:30. I tried to do some recon as to which breakfast room the training was in tomorrow, but the staff were not really clear. So I'm not sure where to set up. So I'm brought everything inside, but I'm not going to figure out setting up my classroom till tomorrow, because I've definitely had that where I set up in one room and then we're in another, or there's confusion about the building. Morning, we're headed over to yoga now at a place called Flow State, just in the town of Banff. In case you're wondering, yes, I keep a yoga mat in each vehicle, and so I don't have to rent one. I'm ready to go. But this is 100% why you pay to be right on Banff Avenue, so that you're right downtown in the mix of the action. Just came back from a great yoga class at the studio here in Banff called Flow State. There used to be another studio on Main Street, but it closed. I know the last time I was here permanently. This place is not heated, but very much locals, all ages, all abilities. The instructor, Michelle, wonderful, wonderful sequencing. Everything was so intuitive. No movement was spared. We're going to go freshen up. Then we're going to go to the Bluebird. I think we are also going to go back to Sundance Mall. I cut through, and the fudgery, I always get one apple at the fudgery. It smells so good in there, and I was pleasantly surprised that because it's holiday season, tourist season, the fudgery is open till 9:30 on a Sunday night. So I'm gonna go do that now, and we will catch up with you after dinner.
This is the chocolate caramel peanut apple. This came in at $8.60 because they do it by weight now. I don't know if you can tell, but this is very, very heavy. I believe it's $9.75 a kilo, so this is over a pound, closer to a kilo. Used to be $5.75 when I first started coming to Banff 10, 15 years ago, but inflation. I love this candy apple. Every time we go to Banff, there is an apple. This is so worth it, and it's so nostalgic because it is so associated with Banff. So this is my go-to. Good morning, good morning. It is Monday. It is around 8:15, and I'm gonna start setting up my class for the certified pool operator class. I only have 7 people. I have 45 minutes, so I have lots of time just to set up my projector, my computer, all of the classwork materials we provide, like the syllabus, the notebook, the paper, all of that. Went to dinner last night, absolutely phenomenal dinner at the Bluebird. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But essentially we have CPO class today, and then I'll catch up with you later to see what we're getting up to this evening. Every day there's this German family that's working on a puzzle, which is very cute. This is very Mounties Canada nostalgia. I just find it so funny. You're in Banff National Park and you're doing a puzzle, even though that's the quintessential tourist thing. I just wanted to show this is a classic example where we have a room. It's mostly set up, but it's also the dumping ground in the hotel. So because we're a staff training, so it's not perfectly set up, which is very normal. And then I have these random cookies I brought. This client brought coffee and donuts yesterday, and I'm pretty sure he'll do the same thing today, but we will see. Okay, so it took me almost an hour to get organized properly for tomorrow, so when I get home, I can unload everything carefully. Let's head out now and get some Korean. I don't know if you can tell, but it is so much quieter tonight. It is a Tuesday at 6 o'clock. This is mostly locals and a few tourists. Just finished up a lovely dinner at Soul House, and I'm just walking around to finish my steps. It's not that cold, but this hood is lovely. Just appreciating the lights here in Banff. I just got back to the room. It's about 7:30. I walked around. I had Korean for dinner. It's still pretty early, so I'm going to try and work on this Instagram/YouTube reel short that I have been meaning to do for weeks of a client that I worked with. They got their permit back in October, but their grand opening was not until November 20th that I could showcase the footage. So I'm going to try and work on that. And then tomorrow morning, we are going to get up and go do a client drop-off. We're going to go to a construction meeting about a new project, and then we're going to stop at a few other partners or clients to drop off some more chocolate on our way home from Banff to Okotoks. So that's it for tonight. I will catch up with you tomorrow.
Good morning, friends. It's Wednesday. I forgot to record at the beginning of my day. I got up at 5:30. I worked on a Instagram/YouTube short for a while. Just left the hotel. It is beautiful out. There is 6 to 8 inches of powder. It is amazing. And I had to come up to the Banff Center anyway. So came over to see corner. Here you can see the Banff Springs Hotel, the famous Fairmont that looks like a castle. It is beautiful. The ski conditions are going to be phenomenal today, but people are going to be enjoying their hot chocolate inside. We're just going to head up to the Banff Center to do a quick drop off. Then I'm going to put on my steel toe boots and my high-vis gear PPE for a construction meeting. Cleared off the snow earlier, but this gives you an idea of how much snow was on the truck just from last night. I would say 6 to 8 inches. Oh, it is so beautiful. It is nearly 12 o'clock. Just finished the construction visit on a very, very large project. I am actually hungry, so I think I'm going to go eat probably in Canmore because the parking situation is easier. It is already 12 o'clock. It's going to take me 2 hours to get back to Calgary, an hour probably to eat lunch. I still have a couple of site visits I need to get done before meeting up at dinner plans later. This has kind of been my trip to Banff for the certified pool operator class and some client and site visits. This client has already booked me back for December of 2026, and then we'll be moving to twice per year in 2027. I've just made it to Canmore. It's almost 1 o'clock. I didn't mean to come downtown, but I wanted a hot lunch. So I have to pay for parking because Canmore now has paid parking all the time downtown. But it is what it is. We're going to have lunch, then we're going to head to Calgary to do some visits and drop-offs.